What's up, everybody? Good morning. Morning, afternoon, evening, depending on where you are. It's great to see some folks here. Let me know where you're watching from. My name is Chris Guillebeau. We got lots of regulars here. Hi, everybody. Good to see you all. Just taking a look. We got folks from Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube. Very cool. Welcome back. Hello from Toronto. I did a morning TV show in Toronto yesterday. That was fun. I'm actually going to do an Indigo Instagram Live later today. Indigo is the main bookstore chain in Canada. Hi. What's up, Nikki? Nikki Hajal in Austin, Texas. Nikki is my genius developer who makes all my fun stuff. Great to see you again. Lots and lots of other folks here. Got my free copy of The Money Tree in yesterday's mail. Nice. Very cool. Yes. Hello, Pam from Atlanta. Very cool. Awesome. Well, if you have not joined before, feel free to keep posting comments. I'm going to come back and respond as we go along. If you have not joined before, my name is Chris Guillebeau. This is a live conversation, which can also be watched in replay. But if you're here live, you can actually participate and co-create it together with me. I'm talking in some ways about my new book, The Money Tree, a story of finding the fortune in your own backyard. But more broadly speaking, it's about finding opportunity in a time of uncertainty, finding the possibility in the midst of challenge. And right now, all over the world, people are feeling really worried and anxious and uncertain. And even if you're not worried or anxious and uncertain, a lot of things about your life right now are probably different than they were just a few months ago. And obviously, people are impacted in different ways and such. And so I just wanted to start this series. We are on day 27, actual day 27 now. I think yesterday I was a little bit mistaken, but thankfully, my smart commenters helped me out in the middle. We figured it out. Hey, Vanessa, what's up in Periscope, Washington, D.C.? Always good to see our Periscopers. I Periscope, lots of people watch and few people comment. So if you're on Periscope, I try to give you a shout out. What's up, Marvin Joe? Bangkok in the house. Again, good to see you. I think you guys know Nikki. Nikki, you know Marvin Joe. Hey, what's up? So anyway, I'm just trying to have this conversation about different opportunities and such. I'm going to give a few shout outs to people. Going to look at a couple of websites today, a little bit of a website review /feature /critique, talk about some ways to remix an offer once you're making a little bit of money, or if you're making a lot of money, let's say, once you're making some money, what can you do to remix that offer and improve it, perhaps produce a different source of revenue? That's what we'll talk about today, along with a question of the day, along with the daily challenge. Who knows what else? Maybe some surprises. So for the question of the day, let's go ahead and jump into that. Oh, and if I don't respond to your comment, it's just because a lot of stuff is happening here for me. There's a bunch of windows that I see that you don't. And I always go back at the end of the stream after it's done to read what everybody says. So thank you for those comments. And also, if you're watching right now, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button on YouTube or Facebook. If you're on Periscope, you can send me some hearts if you would like. But especially on Facebook and YouTube, that's very helpful in showing YouTube that people care. And you can also subscribe. It'd be cool if you would do that as well. Subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications whenever I go live. So this is day 27. As mentioned, I'm going to do this for 30 days and then regroup a bit. So we've got day 28, 29 coming up tomorrow, Thursday, Friday. Been doing it every weekday. Day 30 will be next week, probably on Tuesday. I will know for sure by Friday, but I'll let you know about that. And then when it's done, we're not necessarily done with these conversations. I'm just going to take a little bit of time, regroup, and see what the best way forward is. But if you're subscribed to the channel, then you will be the first to know, of course. Okay, so let us do the question of the day. Now, actually, I've got some announcements. I forgot about that. Let's do some quick announcements. Quick announcements, question of the day. Let's see here. So I have a Money Tree Reader's Guide that I just got from my publisher that's actually pretty nice. And I'm going to put it up on the Money Tree Book website, moneytreebook.com, which Nikki made. And so that will be in the resources section soon. We'll also be talking about it a little bit in the next Third Way meeting. So we started this last week. This is a little bit different format than the live stream. We do it on Zoom, so everybody can be on video, and we kind of talk through people's projects. Going to do it one more time next Thursday, Thursday, whatever date that was. I think it's the 21st. You can sign up for free at aonc.co/thirdway. What else did I want to mention? Oh, shout out to this guy, Scott Balster. sent me a note about this project he's doing called the Job Rescue. He's grabbing 5 people who have unfortunately been laid off and then put a camera on them, helping them get back on their feet with another job. I would just suggest maybe help them get on their feet with, a side hustle perhaps, or an income generating project of their own, but still a fun idea. So I don't have a website for that yet, but he is Scott Balster on Twitter. Let's see. Oh yeah, we're going to do some website reviews. But first, question of the day. I said I would do that first. So this is a difficult question. This is a very deep philosophical question. What is your favorite dessert? Okay. And earlier I was thinking maybe I should have narrowed this down a little bit because I like a lot of different kinds of desserts, so I could have said what's your favorite pie? Or something. But then I was like, well, we have people watching from all over the world, and I know dessert means different things in different places and such. So I just thought I'd throw it out there. What is your favorite dessert? I would love to know. I would say I'd tell you mine, but we only have 30-ish, 35 minutes or so for the stream. I have a lot of desserts I like. I'm going to pick a commenter, somebody who provides an answer from whether you're watching anywhere, Periscope, YouTube, Facebook, somewhere else, who knows. I'm going to send you a free copy of the book. If I choose you as the biased judge, then just send an email to Jed, Jedd, at sidehustleschool.com. He knows who the winners are, but then he will get you the book. If you're in the U.S., we'll send you a print copy of the book. If you are overseas, we'll send you a digital copy. All right, I'm curious. Let's see. Oh, look, Nanaimo bars. That's fun. Canada represent there. Specifically mint chocolate chip. Maybe there was some ice cream before that I missed. Trifle. Wow, okay. I got to say that's one dessert that I don't love myself. Trifle, but I respect it. Nikki, warm brownie sundae. Legit, for sure. Pumpkin pie. Eton mess. Wow, these British desserts. Man, I love a lot of things about the United Kingdom, but trifle, Eton mess, I don't know. Okay, Sean says straight peanut butter. It's weird, I know, it's the best. I like peanut butter as a flavor myself. I don't know that I want it just as that. It's funny that there's more comments about dessert than about any other topic that we've had. Blueberry banana cream pie. Mary Jo, chocolate cake with fudge. There's cheesecake, of course. Everybody likes cheesecake. Chocolate avocado mousse. That's pretty detailed. That's good. I think I missed a couple of Periscope. If you're commenting on Periscope, I'm like, hey, what's up? Somebody else did you already say that? Somebody else said cheesecake. Everybody on Periscope loves cheesecake. Okay, I should pick a winner so we can move on because I realize it's probably not the most consequential topic of your day, although I do take dessert pretty seriously. Banana pudding, tiramisu. I like tiramisu. That's good. Rhubarb pie. Wow, you guys have some interesting... I like pie, a lot of pies, but rhubarb again. This rhubarb pie trifle thing, not my favorite, but hey, it's cool, to each his own. Pamela says, Cafe Sunflower in Atlanta has the absolute best chocolate cake. That's my fave. I miss Atlanta. Hoping to go back there at some point, just like I'm hoping to go everywhere at some point. But we shall see. Apple crumble, that's good. Oh, apple crumble with custard. That's one of my favorites. I like that. Okay, so many great answers, but I think I'm going to go with Allison's answer. Allison, I don't think we've picked you as the winner before. So send a note to Jed at sidehustleschool.com and he will send you a copy of the book. So apple crumble with custard is our winner. Like I said, probably not the most consequential thing of your day, but good to know what you all like for dessert. Okay, so let us see. I'm going to do a couple of website reviews slash comments and such. I'm now calling them website features because not always trying to be critical, but if there is something I can do to be helpful, I want to do that. And I actually do have some comments here today that I'm hoping will be somewhat helpful. So I'm going to look at 2 different personal finance sites. Okay, and one I think is doing a better job than the other, and I'll tell you why, because I think this is an important lesson. So this first one is elementalmoney.com, and basically here with Elemental Money, their goal is to be a curator, essentially. They want to be a curator of personal finance articles. There's lots of articles, personal finance articles, out there, and they're like, we're going to show you the best ones. And so mostly what this is, it's a curator, aggregator kind of thing. All of these posts just go to external links, basically. So if you click them, they go to the actual original website. So first of all, the first thing I thought was visually, the grayscale, the monochrome thing doesn't really allow any of them to stand out. Like the thumbnails or the little boxy things are just, it all kind of runs together. So you have a lot of the white text and you have this gray box, and I don't quite know what is supposed to get my attention as a user / browser. But then, so that's a design like visual feature. But then I think beyond that, if all these go to other sites, then I think the question is, what is the value of this site, right? And I think it's a common, I don't want to say a common mistake, because it does work for some people in some cases, but the belief that you can just be a curator and not really add value or add much commentary of your own, I don't think it usually works for people. So I'd be really surprised if this turns out to be, successful and viable and make a lot of money, or even if it's not the goal to make a lot of money, get a lot of attention, let's say, just because pretty much all of these links that they go to, that they are sending people to, all of these people have their own resource sites. So if you send people to Mr. Money Mustache, he's linking up there, or Paula Pant, or Trent Ham, or any of the other people he's linking, they all have like lists of links of these things too. And they're also referring people to popular articles. But in addition, there's a reason why people go to those sites, because they have original content and they're offering their take on things, and there could be something else as well, but it's not just a curatorial site. So that's what I thought about that. And I wanted to give you a contrast, and nothing wrong with trying stuff, by the way, of course. I mean, it's always good to try stuff. So let's see here, browser. There we go. So this is a contrast. If you have any comments about these sites or anything else or any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I will circle back a little bit in the end. Any more favorite desserts, that people are especially excited about. All right. So this other one, I do see a couple questions there, which is good. I will come back to them. So this one, what is it? Funny Man Finance, funnymanfinance.com. So first of all, very memorable, Funny Man Finance. Like if you see this site and you want to go back to it later, you're probably going to remember what it's called. If you're the guy who has this site and you're talking to somebody, what's your website? Oh, it's funnymanfinance.com. You kind of get right away, oh, it's going to be personal finance with some humor to it. And very clear benefit right from the top: master your personal finances without a financial advisor. So great little, 1-2 punch there. Then here's a link, which I'll come back to, how to start investing in 10 minutes. It's pretty clear that this site, they want you to click this link, which is good. It shows me what to do. I understand the point of it. There's a little bit more of a summary here. It's a website about personal finance, investing, etc. And if you like what you see, then click, and it says then buy the book. So he's selling a book. And here's the personal finance blog. If you compare these links and thumbnail images to the other site, first of all, it's just visually much more appealing and attractive. And then, fewer choices, but I'm more likely to click one of them, I think. And this is all going internal to his own site. He's got a collection of financial jokes here that kind of scrolls, and some of his popular articles at the bottom, et cetera, et cetera. So we won't go through it too much more, but just wanted to show you kind of a difference. So he's actually original content, putting something forward. And then if we look at this detailed article, how to start investing, a step-by-step guide to beginners, you look at the SEO, the link is how to start investing. A lot of people are searching for that term. And then here, this is just a long form article with lots of different information answering these questions. There are little bookmark links that you can click. I think this is going to jump me down the page. So just a lot of information there that's helpful. It's laid out in a nice design. If I was looking for another personal finance blog to read, I would consider looking at this one. So just wanted to show you that contrast. And now I am back over here. So we still have a couple of days. If somebody wants to do a site review / feature, then let me know. I'm pretty much collecting them through Twitter just to have them in one place. But my Twitter is just my name, Chris Guillebeau. So go there and let me know. So let's see here. A couple comments. Sandra, I'm a curator. I see your point. Need to add original content and add value. Thanks for that. Yes, you're welcome. And I think, the curation, I was curation, is important. I think the idea behind curation is like there's so much stuff out there, and the world of personal finance, in the world of dessert, in the world of whatever it is, then there is value in like sifting through that and being a filter and such. But I think it's hard to just do that. I think it's like you do that and something else is usually the best way to do it. Let's see here. A couple other comments here. Caitlin says, blog photos, do you think it's more attention grabbing to take photos of yourself instead of stock photos that many people have? I'm thinking so. It shows the work and care that you put into it. I think it depends on the topic, on the industry, etc. But anywhere that you kind of put care into something, then that can certainly make a difference. I think for some blogs and like the personal finance thing, I think some of those stock photos are probably going to be fine. But I do think it's better to have those than to have nothing like we saw on that other site. Euro Maestro says, you pronounce my last name differently here in France. Yes, you say Guilbeault in French, but my family was Americanized long ago. All right, a couple other comments. Let's see here. This is Euro Maestro also says my favorite dessert channel. Cool. And another comment from Doodle Reads. Hey, Nigel, what's up? He also said older folks might find white text on gray harder to read. My dad often mentions that problem to me. Yes, very good. Some fans of Mr. Money Mustache here. Pete's a cool guy. He actually spoke at World Domination Summit a couple of years ago. So it's fun to get to hang out with him a little bit. Okay, so site review. Let's see, site review, question of the day. What else are we going to do? We're going to talk about some ways to remix your offer. So the principle here is if you... Oh, good. It actually works. Man, it's amazing what I should not say that because I was like, everything is working today, but I should not say that until it's over, right? Because you never know what could happen. So principle I want to talk about here today is you've got something that's working, all right? You've got, whatever your offer is, your product, maybe it's firewood. We looked at this guy selling firewood the other day who was very passionate about firewood. FaceTime photo shoots. The woman who'd found a way to continue her photography studio even while social distancing in Texas. Online breakdancing. I think I showed you guys that example yesterday from somebody, or maybe something that you're selling. Like we have lots of people here watching who, have various side hustles and businesses and projects and such. So you've got something and it's actually working a little bit. Well, this is a great place to be because once it's working, there are usually a lot of different things you can do to make it work more. And so I wrote a bit about this in the Side Hustle book. And I'm going to show you a few examples today and a few examples tomorrow as well. So this is essentially about how to remix your offer in one form or another and to offer something different either to the same people or to somebody else who might be interested. So remixing your offer. So I'm going to go with this example, which I didn't tell you. I should have told you that before I put this slide up. But the example is, say you've got this course that is about speaking Spanish. I'm going to learn to speak Spanish by 4 p.m. That's your brand. Your brand is like speak Spanish by 4 p.m., which is very catchy, and you're like immediately understand, what it is. So the next logical thing you could do is like, what about some other languages? What about speak French? By 4 p.m. Maybe Euro Maestro here is going to help put that together. Speak French by 4 p.m. What if so I've got speak Spanish by 4 p.m. What if it's like speak fluently by sunset? Between 4 p.m. and 6 or 7 p.m., you're going to learn even more. So that's like the advanced version, the intermediate or advanced version of the course that's already selling. What about a lunchtime vocabulary kit? So you've got your basic, speak Spanish by 4 p.m. But, here's also like master some new vocabulary terms, for example. And then if you're selling this as a product, as a course, like in the knowledge economy, like we've been talking about a little bit, what if you also offered personal tutoring to people who are willing to pay, significantly more for it? So that way you've got a product, but you've also got a service. Like I say, the key there is going to be charging more for it because the whole point of making the product is that anybody can purchase it, at any time. And such. But these are just a few ideas. The point is once you have an offer, once you've got a product or a service, and some people at least are, paying for it, then it's a lot easier to say, what else can I do with this offer? What else can I do with this thing that people want? It's not even about the offer so much. It's about the solution that you're providing because you're providing a solution to people who have this desire. And the logical question is, what other solutions could I provide to this problem? And if I provide the solution one way, might there be another way in addition to do so? Now, you don't want to you don't want to dilute your main offering, right? So you want to make sure that you're still putting your main attention on Speak Spanish by 4 p.m. if that's the one that keeps bringing in the most money and such. But there's nothing wrong, and in fact, it's usually good. People often want extensions, add-ons, modifications, and such, or they might want that service version of the product. And you could also look at this a different way and say, well, if my whole service from the beginning was, if I actually was a personal tutor in the beginning, then how can I remix that? And then you would basically do it the opposite way. You would say, oh, well, I'm a personal tutor, and lots of people want to learn languages or making trifle or whatever it is. And there are lots of different ways to do it, but I've come up with a way that people really respond to. I'm pretty good at this one thing. What is that one thing? Like I talked about Mr. Writing Tutor a couple of days ago. He was also on the Third Way group. This guy who's a test prep tutor in New York City, and he was doing SAT, ACT tutoring, and then realized that he was actually the best at the writing portion, and so he really decided to focus on that. But then he also does this SAT kind of stuff. So anyway, the point is, if you're focusing on the service, then the logical extension is, how can I make a product out of this? What can I do to productize the existing service? All right. I see some questions there. So I'm going to, feel free to keep posting those questions and or comments, and I will circle back in just a couple moments. You can also add an upsell, which is very logical. When people purchase something, that is when they are most likely to make another purchase. Like after they have made that emotional decision and commitment, and they purchase something, they're excited about it. It's perfectly logical to be like, oh, do you also want this? Like here's something that might go well with it, or here's a special offer that's not published. You didn't see this on the website because it's only for people who purchase. So add an upsell. It's usually an easy way to basically add 15 to 20% of your revenue, whatever it is that you are selling. Oh, I want to say hi to, there's Stephanie. Let's see if I can move that over. There's Stephanie. Hey, Stephanie, what's going on? Good to see you. So Stephanie has this book, Dirty Lazy Keto, which she's done very well with. She has a very cool transformation story of her own. So that's cool. I didn't know you were watching. Very cool. Thanks for joining. I'll say hi to a couple other people in a moment. So add an upsell, add a cross-sell, a little bit different. Cross-sell, if you liked this, then you might like this other thing. So Amazon does this really well. You're purchasing something. Amazon does e-commerce of every kind very well. But in this case, it's like you're buying something. Oh, customers also purchased this thing. Okay, so you bought this kitchen table. You might need these chairs to go with it. You bought this audio equipment. You need this cable that goes with it. So like there's a logical kind of cross-sell to that. So the difference between a cross-sell and upsell is a cross-sell is offered at the time of purchase, and upsell is usually after purchase. And the next thing is to add pricing tiers. Which version would you like to purchase of my, whether it's my Spanish, course? I've got the basic version. I've got the intermediate version. I've got the advanced version. Like, what is best for you? Just like a simple upsell. This is one of the easiest things you can do that will almost always increase revenue. Some people will always want the basic version. That's fine, but other people will want to pay more for more features and such. So I think that is very important. I wanted to give you an example of a guy. His name is Andrew Church, and so he makes these handcrafted cheese boards, and not just cheese boards. He does other stuff too, but this is one of the products he makes. He's from Pennsylvania, and he began by making, I don't know if it was a cheese board or some other kind of slate construction in the shape of Pennsylvania, the state. And a couple months in, he realized there's actually more states than Pennsylvania. There's a logical extension to make 49 other products, basically. And so, of course, he went and did that. And so now you can get a cheese board in the state, in the shape of all kinds of states. I think he's got some Canadian provinces now. He's trying to there's ways to just keep kind of building that out. And he also has marble, So that's another example is like some people are buying slate. Okay, other people might like the look of marble, right? Marble, much lighter color. Maybe you like how that feels, heavier, etc. So once you have something that is working, the point is it's usually not that hard to make it work more. And it's really fun because in some ways, like I said, it's easier than starting an all new business, and it allows you to think creatively in maybe a different way. Like obviously starting your business is creative too, but it's just a different kind of creativity when you're like, oh, this is working. People are responding. I have customers. What else can I do? Like what comes next? Okay. So lots of ways you can remix your offer. We'll talk about a few more tomorrow. Got a daily challenge coming up for you in just a moment, but I want to try to get to a few of these comments. Thank you so much. Frugalpreneur says, now I'm hungry for cheese. That happens. I'm hungry for cheese too. Euromaestro. Thanks for joining us today, by the way, Euromaestro and everybody else. Just scrolling here. Make sure I understand this question. Hey, Judy, so I'm going to read your question here. What do you tell a friend who messages you for the advice you were selling, especially if you've helped them in the past before you launched your service business? Parenting champion. What do you tell a friend who messages you for the advice you were selling? Okay. I think I understand that. Sorry, it took me a moment. I think you said, I think the question is like, what do you tell a friend who's asking you to give them, the free advice that you're selling? I don't know. I mean, that's a hard thing. I think you have to decide, am I going to send my friend to my sales page, or am I going to say, I don't know, maybe there's a way you can say like, here are a couple things that are helpful, like I'm not ignoring you. I'm not ignoring your request. Like here's a couple things that are helpful. And, I wrote a lot more about it, or I've shared a lot more about it, in this product or guide or something. But I think that just depends on how you want to handle those relationships. What's my take on offers like paying Patreon subscribers as an upsell like the minimalists do? I'm not sure what the minimalists do with their Patreon. I haven't looked at it, or at least not recently. So paying Patreon subscribers as an upsell. I'm not quite sure about the paying them, about what that quite means. So I will go and take a look, and then we'll come back to that maybe another day. Sam the Stimulus, what's up? Hey, what do I think is a great landing page? Any examples? Let me make a note about this. So I don't have landing pages off the top of my head, but I will see what I can do about coming back with that. Landing pages for Sam the Stimulus. Got it. Here's a good question. What do I think about products that auto offer a discount if you leave it in the cart but don't proceed to purchase? I think it's really smart as long as people don't know to expect that, right? Because if they know to expect that, then they're just going to do whatever process they need to do to get the discount. Just like whenever you have a coupon code on your website, then everybody is going to go and search to try to find that. What's the discount? How can I find it and do it? So people are very conditioned to respond to like a process of getting a discount if there's a way to do it. But if they don't know about it, like some of the sites you're talking about, or the merchant accounts and such, then I think it can be interesting. And also, by the way, this is a topic for another day, but it's also totally okay to charge a different price to different people for stuff. People sometimes wonder, like, is that ethical? And it's like, look at what the airlines do, look at what hotels do. Like, people pay different prices for things all the time. It's totally normal. Let's see. Any other comments or questions? Odin said, I like the obsessive approach from the Firewood Guide. Helped me rethink my approach to my side hustle. Yes. A lot of the best stories that we have featured on Side Hustle School, and by best, I mean most interesting, most profitable, most sustainable, most difficult to compete with, also a pretty important variable. They are from people who are obsessive about this topic, whatever it is. So when I say difficult to compete with, it's like if you're into firewood, good luck competing with that guy that we talked about, because this is a guy we had on the show a few days ago, and this is the Firewood Guy. He's got this website that's super built out with all kinds of information about firewood, and almost to the point where like way too much, for us, right? For anybody who doesn't love firewood. I don't mean to insult people out there who are really into firewood. Doodle Reed says, would it be worth trying remixes? And an A/B test, do I think? Sure, of course. Any kind of split testing is always good because it shows you what people actually do, not just what you think they're going to do, which is sometimes different. Okay, couple more comments here. And daily challenge. Let's see. Kiara, do you think offering a package of extra freebies if we buy now? To me, this feels manipulative. The thing about all of this stuff is it can be manipulative, or it can seem weird. It can seem like high pressure, whatever makes you feel uncomfortable. Anything. It can seem negative, or it can be perfectly natural and aligned. So it all depends on how it's done. Like I think there are lots of examples you can think of in which you have been incentivized to buy something because there is a bonus, or because there's a discount, or because if you act now, then there is something special. So I don't think there's anything intrinsically wrong with it. I think the problem is when the way that it's marketed, or when it is, I'm trying to think of the right phrasing. Like, I think you probably know what I mean, but like when it doesn't make sense, like when there's like false scarcity built in, or when, as you say, manipulation, like trying to make people feel guilty for not purchasing. I think that's the problem. So I don't think it's wrong by itself. Rachel says, hey, Rachel, what's up? I frequently give my regular customers extra baked goods or new stuff while I'm in the testing phase. It shows appreciation. Usually they end up buying whatever I've given them later. It's because of the principle of reciprocity, which is one of the 6 factors of persuasion. When you give people the baked goods, assuming they like them, which they do, then they come back and buy them more later. Kate said the Firewood guy. He could offer consulting for other inspired Firewood project. And Euromaestro, that's great. Firewood is a hot product to sell, I hear. Well done. Well done. And Graham says, I value higher value customers. As Chris says, different prices for high value customers. And if you missed the stream yesterday, I think I said something about how if you have a range of prices, pretty much you will always get the most difficulty, or you'll have the most customer service, let's say, from the ones who buy at the lower tier. You'll have the highest request for refunds, the highest, request for additional features, or whatever it is. It always comes from those people, which is not to say that they are all like that, just to be clear. But if you're looking at it as a group proportionally, that's usually what happens. Okay, so daily challenge, let's do this. It is related to what we've been talking about. So if you have an existing offer of some kind, which I know that a lot of you do now, wherever you're watching from, YouTube, Periscope, Facebook, choose at least one of these ideas and do something. When I first started Side Hustle School, I created that little tagline, which some of you may know, about inspiration and action, about how, inspiration is good, but action is better. I don't know if I ever properly explained that. I just started doing it. But what I mean with it is, like, it's easy to be inspired, online. It's easy to be inspired by a book. It's easy to be inspired by, anything. And it's a lot harder, I think, to go from being inspired and actually then to do something about it. And my hope is always, like as an author, that people will read my books and not just like enjoy the books or like the books. I hope they like them. I hope you enjoy them. But also I hope that you actually do something with it. Like it helps you to make some progress in your life somehow. So whenever I'm sharing different examples, not everything may be pertinent to you. Like I totally understand that. I also don't want to put pressure or make you feel guilty or manipulate you. But I just encourage you to think about what is it that what can you do? If you have an offer, how can you remix it? If you're still working on your offer or your idea, what is the next step? How can you work toward getting that out so that, you can see what happens, and maybe it will work and maybe it won't, but if it doesn't work, that will give you information for the next thing. So my encouragement is to always have a bias toward action whenever possible. Even if it, even if you don't feel ready, and you probably are not going to feel ready, because that's just how it works. There's Kiara. Hey, great nuanced answer. I'm glad I got one right. Nuanced answer. Thank you. Appreciate it. Hey, there's some more folks saying hi from Facebook. Greetings from Toronto. You love my chair? Yeah, I like this chair as well. It's good. So many folks from Toronto. I mentioned earlier I'm going to do an Instagram Live with Indigo. I believe that's going to be 4 p.m. my time, so that's 7 p.m. Toronto time later today. I will be back here again tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Lots of great comments. Thank you so much for participating. You are making this so much better. If I missed your comments, like I said, I'm just doing a bunch of stuff here, but I will go back and read everything before the end of the day. Then I'll prepare for tomorrow. This has been so fun to work on, and I encourage you to take action on something that is important to you. Just remember that you're not alone out there, and you're also not powerless. There's so much stuff that is out of our control these days, but there is something, at least 1% of something that's within your control. And so that's what I hope that you move forward with today. And thank you for joining me. You're all awesome. Come back tomorrow.